Back in the day, when my parents were looking at homes, it said sunken living room.
Yeah.
Like, that was the coolest thing. Like,
Yeah.
you can step in the living room and it goes down.
Well, bell bottoms were cool too.
Yeah.
But I think about this a lot. What are we doing right now that in 15 years we're going to shake our heads and go, what were we thinking? And I'll tell you, open concept living spaces are still very popular, but they're not as popular as they were 5 years ago. These things come and go. These trends ebb and flow. We went from everyone wanting to take out every single wall in the kitchen, the living, and the dining all being open. By the way, this happened in the commercial office environment too. All this open space where everyone's got the same exact workspace and size, and then you realize, man, it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's hard to work in here. Well, the same thing happened in homes. That's what was on HGTV. That's what was in the magazines. That was one of the parade of homes. And then people started saying, well, I don't know that I want to hear my kids in the second living room when I'm in the primary living room. Maybe we should close that off. So now you're getting into like open entertainment spaces, but still very private, separate rooms. And so, we're finding a happy medium. But I wonder, I was talking with a buyer the other day about silly stuff people do. And I thought, listen, man, in the 70s and 80s, it was trendy to put cheap carpet and linoleum on top of solid hardwood floors. Right now, that sounds like, who would do that? We're all praying that you can get a house and pull the carpet up and there's original wood floors under there, but that was a trend and almost everybody did it. The builders did it, the remodelers did it, homeowners did it. So I'm sure we're doing something right now we'll all laugh at in a decade, but there are certain things that seem to be timeless. For the most part, wood flooring is fairly timeless. Granite and solid stone countertops are pretty timeless. Classic colors, whites and grays, are pretty timeless. Solid wood, good-looking doors are pretty timeless.
What about barn doors? I'm putting barn doors in.
Yeah, I think that's barn doors are one that are definitely going to date us all, but they're not going to be terribly hard to switch, So obviously you've got this fixer-upper HGTV farmhouse style that is going to absolutely be the style that sort of dates us all to the last 5 years and probably the next 5 years. And then everyone's going to say, oh man, shiplap, that was like a late 2000, that was a 2015 to 2025 kind of thing, and there will be some new trend. White subway tile, has been just killing it for a while, and eventually we'll get back into more patterned stuff or larger ones, or vent hoods are like, people have vent hoods that don't even work because they like the way they look, By the way, Vent-A-Hood is based in Richardson, Texas. Most people don't know that.
Let me ask you, here's a really good one, and we've talked about this in the past. If a home won't sell, at what point is it okay to drop the price?
Okay. Man, I wish I could give you a short answer. I really do. Let me give it as quick as I can. There's typically 3 reasons a home won't sell. One is price, one is condition, and one is marketing. We've said this many times, so I'll say it quickly. Location is what everybody thinks should be one, but you can't change your location on most houses. So let's just assume that location is what it is. We can't do anything to change it. We can impact price, condition, and marketing. So first of all, there really is no scenario where a home won't sell. Now there's a scenario where you've got one of those 3 things wrong, or those 3 things are not consistent. For example, you might have a home priced really accurate to its true value, but you're marketing it in a way that when someone arrives, even though it's accurately priced, it feels overpriced. You sort of oversold it in your marketing and they got there and it was a little bit of a letdown. Or the opposite is true. You sort of underpriced it in your marketing. They got there and they felt overwhelmed by it. That's less likely to happen, by the way. And then there are homes where you are overlooking the uniqueness and potentially some of the negatives of your house. And so you're under the impression that the condition of the house is on par with what you're competing with. And it's really not, because of a unique floor plan or a unique lot location or something like that. So I think the best answer I can give is there really is no situation where a house isn't going to sell unless you're making one of those mistakes. Now, it's not always a mistake. There are certainly situations where a seller can they can't lower the price. They can't afford to lower the price. And so therefore, you may not be able to overcome that price problem with condition and marketing. A lot of times you can. That's sort of our specialization. It's kind of what we do at the Todd Tramonte home selling team. But even we are not perfect, and we make mistakes. And sometimes we just have to say, we're not confident that we could get that done for you. We're not a good fit to work together. But in the event that you've made your best swing at it and you've done a great job, but it's not selling, then you go back and reevaluate one or more of those three things, and you say, look, we really feel we're priced well. We just need to change the way we're marketing it. We need to change the way we're communicating about it. Or, hey, we're marketing it well. People are beating the door down. We're getting tons and tons of showings, and all the feedback on the condition is that it's gorgeous. We do need to make a price change.
How do you get the feedback on it, though?
Yeah, so a good real estate agent will have a feedback system. Our team specifically has an automated 3-step follow-up system where we send texts and emails, and then we have a manual follow-up system where one of our staff members will reach out by phone to the agent. And if we're not able to get feedback by then, trust me, even if we get it, it won't be reliable because they've already mentally moved on. And I think we talked about this last week on the show too. You can't take all the feedback at face value. If someone's interested, their instinct is going to be to downplay how much they like the house. So they're more likely to say it's overpriced, the condition's not perfect, and they're saying that to position and posture for negotiation. Now, if someone doesn't want to buy the house, their feedback may actually be more helpful because they're more likely to be brutally honest with you. So the answer to the question is, a good real estate professional will have a system, ideally using some good technology, to seek out that feedback on more than one attempt from the agent or the buyer who viewed the home.